So frustrating. Well, now it shows that it's determining my stream quality. There we go. Well, I don't know what the deal with it was with that. That was not Twitch. That was me because it kicked me off. It basically made everything freeze in WoW, where I couldn't talk to anything in WoW. I could not dismount in WoW, nothing. So I just shut it down. Um, we're gonna get back in there, and I would love to. I wonder if those buggers are out there messing around with the cable again. I will tell you that ever since they came out and laid down the fiber optic stuff, the net here has been going bonkers. All right, so this is where it ended for me. So I was like, this is where it ended for me over here, and I couldn't dismount. Basically, if you go Dark Moon Fair shopping, go check to see if you have anything in your bank first, because you can only do these quests once per Dark Moon Fair, right? So I already have this one. I might actually just keep that one in here. Unless you're out in Ironfort. Yeah, but remember we were doing the cask run, right? Can you imagine? Oh my god. I will tell you that if I had consistent net problems, that I would not be doing Iron Man. That's 100%. All right, so we are done with the pacifist. We are going to jump on. I did my green the other day. All right, we're gonna go do Earthen Ring. Okay, what we are going to do. We are going to do something for we're going to kill a little bit of time for you guys, and hopefully we'll get a little lucky. Would be great if we can get a little bit lucky, and if we can find a certain thing. So last night I was looking for Tiber. Today, if we find a certain thing, it's basically whoever is on, and wants a certain thing. If it's up, we will go looking for the Void Talon portal, and we'll share it with you. Because I already have this thing, but I would really love to share it with somebody from like the stream or somebody that I know, right? All right, these are all the stuff from all my other characters. All right. This was a leatherworking. Oh, requires panda leatherworking. Do I not have panda leatherworking? Really? I probably don't. That was my stomach again. I swear to God. I don't. What? Oh, 75 requires max. Okay. So I need to level that up. Because I was going to say, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. As you can see, the last time I did anything for the character was surrounding Cataclysm, I guess. All right. We are going to stop. So Nordain, we have already killed all the things that we need for the mounts. Okay, but we are gonna go do a little bit of a Void Talon portal search, just because. So let's go into Nordain. We're not doing Azeroth autopilot. We do want to do handy notes and my Void Talon one. So I created another one for Void Talon only to help me just go to the spots where they are. All right. And then, come in. I know you can do it. Come on, you got this, Warcraft. There we go. Wow, everything's like all okay. Actually, I want to see what the emissary is. None of them are Zandalari. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. All right, well, let's go. So basically, how we would... Wow, are we doing this again? Am I getting kicked off again? Yep, unstable. Here we go again. I think we're getting kicked off again. I don't know if you can hear me, but I think we're getting kicked off again. And if stream is frozen, yeah. Freaking hell! Oh, now it says I'm excellent. Now it says it's excellent. Just, there is something going on with my net here. And all right, let's go. So we're gonna go visit the place where we got the Void Talent portal for us the first time, or the only time. We will see. I believe I was on Earthen Ring. Yes, I was on Earthen Ring. So the only reason why I knew that the stream was going to have a problem is because I went to go Hearth to the garrison, and it just kind of sat there like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna Hearth, but nothing happened, right? So I was like, yeah, we're having connection problems. So I will tell you that if we get kicked offline, like completely offline, that's going to be it. Like, we're already at the 11:23 mark. We're already on stream number 2 because we got completely kicked off the first time. And I don't want to put up like, oh, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. It's just silly. All right. No portal here. So what we are going to do, though, is that if we find the portal, so the one that I found was here. It was right here. If we do find the portal, whoever is online, and wants it, I will basically roll off between whoever is in the stream and whoever can get online like right away. And so we can get you a Void Talent mount. Is it Giblet the cow? Oh, it is Giblet the cowardly. All right, so he's up. That's good. Oh, are we doing this again? I think so. It's possible. And still don't have this toy. This toy is just not dropping. Come on. You don't have a Horde high enough tune. You can create a class trial account. And it's actually preferable for you to bring in a character that doesn't have a whole lot of questing done, because the Void Talent portal can be hidden due to your phase, which is silly, but it's a thing. It's a fact. So you can go create a class trial. I think the best way to do it, or it was anyways, is that if you created a Demon Hunter class trial, I think you get access to the Ashran portal. I don't know if that's I think now everybody gets access to the Ashran portal because of the new portal room. So I don't think it matters if you're on a demon hunter or not. So just go create a class trial and um, go to the portal room, go to Ashran, and off you go. Like you're here, right? No portal is up, so. I'm looking at the stream health and it's like, but it's not like dropped like crazy. So I'm hoping that the troubles are beyond are past us, but it's not been smooth. Because for the most part, everything was smooth until we got that first drop, and once we got that first drop, then now it's been like all over the place. If I could let you see it, I would. No portal. Pew pew pew. Right? Any portal? No portal. But we are gonna go check. See if we can get the toy from here. Might as well. Might as well. I mean, it is going out of my way a little bit, but I don't really collect them a whole lot. I'm 321 out of 533. I know people that are well into the 400s. I don't know if I know anyone that's got 500 toys. So I think that would be amazing. Oh, all right. Our rares that we need are up. That's good. Yay. Come on, toy. Nope. No toy. All right, so let's go to Talador. No, we're going to go to Nagrand. Location. Oh yeah, this one I don't have all the TomTom. Add all TomTom waypoints. I think that's actually one thing I'm going to add right now to my notes. Stout. To do add on Void Talon add on add all waypoints watt points waypoints in zone, and add all waypoints in Draenor. I want two options. Two. That should be good. Okay. Where is this one? Is there? Okay. And then this one. Okay. We are going for the Void Talent Porter. So this is a little bit of what we did last night too. Just to see if we could get something for Tiber. Well, token prices are creeping back up. Are they? Let's see. Where is it? Shop. Token. Oh. Why is that? Why would they be going back up? I mean, there's nothing new. We can actually buy a pet. I don't have this one. I do have $12.50. By the way, I really liked your. Can I make a suggestion voice? Oh, that's my mom, yo. Can I make? It's just a suggestion. Ugh. As soon as she says, "Can I make a suggestion?" my mind is immediately. It's just nope. Shut down. I just, she's done it my whole life. Nope. So, I mean, we could get this one. pets. We don't have $32, so we do need these two. Toys. I'm not buying. Ugh. This I think actually would be pretty cool to have. I think the transmogger is pretty cool, but I don't. I would rather, if I'm going to be spending money that's already there, I would rather um, buy like a pet or a mount first, or mount first, pets next, and then this stuff. But I don't know if I would go out of my way to go buy those. Yeah, we're gonna let's just go buy the pet. I don't know if it's just a suggestion. Yeah, yeah. I have a hard password. Yay. There we go. Well, I got Twilight now. Huzzah. Now we can't learn it. No, well, we couldn't learn it anyways because they just put it right into your pet journal. Because if you go learn it from your bags, it actually dismounts you. Twilight is cute. I honestly, I've never really looked at it. It's more of a we don't have this kind of thing. Just another thing to get. I think I really like it when the pets look cute and stuff. Okay, that's all. That's nothing there. So I'm looking at the stream health, and it seems like it's stable. Like it's yeah, this flight path we never learned. I was looking at Twitter, and I think Panzer was complaining about something. She couldn't like get more than 1,000 pets or something, or I don't know what it was, and then she had to unlock more by doing world quests, and she's like, "This is terrible." I'm like, well, I mean, honestly, I think you should. It's funny. I kind of feel like you should be able to have one of every pet, not one of every breed, but one of every pet. I like that they have a max of 3 per pet, so you can have only the 3 breeds. But maybe they should limit that to you can have 3 of a pet breed. Like I don't think it really hurts them all that much to let you have more than like 1,000 pets. All right, we're gonna go do this one first, because I personally collect pets more to have a whole bunch of like one of each kind. I'm not really looking for the breed. I know that there are some folks like Lita likes to have certain pet breeds because you do need certain pet breeds for some fights. There's not a whole lot of them, but if you're doing things like family familiar, I think you need to have certain breeds, right? I think that the limitation of 1,000 is kind of I think that they could possibly make it no limit on unique pets. So you're allowed to have one of each, but then have maybe they could make the 1,000 apply only to the pets that are like 2 or more. Oh, wait, we just flew past the flight path. Or we'll just, it's not a big deal, but we'll just grab this one. So like for me, my number of pets would be 0 because I don't have any dupes, right? I think Legion and BFA each have one-time use item that increases the pets by 500, making the cap 2,000. Yes. I think the Legion one, I think what Panzer was complaining about is that you had to do a whole bunch of world quests in order to increase that cap. And yeah, well, it felt like she was surprised. And I'm like, why are you surprised? Like this shouldn't be a surprise. This is how Legion was built. Because she was saying like, I don't feel like I should be doing world quests in order to do something else for pets. And I'm like, well, but that's how Legion was built, where like, let's say for professions, okay? They had you go out and to do 5-person runs to help you increase your professions and do the profession quest chains. You didn't have to, but like in order to complete some of the quests, well, you needed to. So I think they did stuff where, wasn't there a PvP thing? No portal. So if, anyways, it's I don't know. And then people get on her like, oh, it's just a girl complaining about something. No, it's not. I mean, I think that, if oh yeah, okay, so what I think the other thing too is that she got an achievement for getting 1,000 pets or something, right? And it gave her another pet. But she couldn't learn that other pet because her cap was only 1,000. So she was like, what the hell? I did this achievement for nothing. Yeah, I think in that case, yes, I would be pissed off because, like, come on. I think a good way to deal with pets would be, honestly, let people have one unique without counting against the cap. If you have more than one copy of a pet, then anything higher than the one will count. So, for instance, for me, I have 851 pets and 851 unique pets. So my cap, even though it would be 1,000 still, I'd have 0, right? But it would then let those people that love to collect breeds to collect their breeds, and maybe you take away the cap on the number of pets per type you have. Right, we are gonna go to this one and work our way around because we're not gonna do Rookmar because Rookmar we already killed this week. So then, for people that wanted to have, like for some pets that have more than 3 breeds, like they have to choose which breed, right? At least then it would let them be able to get one of each breed. What if they wanted to get 1,000 of each pet? They wanted to get 1,000 captures of one pet. So you'd have your single, and then you'd have 1,000 copies of this one pet. But that's your choice, right? If you want to waste your 1,000 on that, I mean, go for it, right? I don't know if they would change that. I don't know how much work. I really don't think it would take a lot of work. Just based on what I know for coding and stuff, and I don't think. So don't think that the unique pet thing would be allowed to work. The one where you can have one of each pet, but anything that's higher than one, you can like it will count. So I don't think that would be a problem. I think doing I think getting rid of, well, actually maybe getting rid of the cap on each pet, I don't think would be a big problem either. It's removing the cap. Done. So yeah, I don't think that would be a big problem either. Blizzard has a habit of completely neglecting old content when the new stuff is released. I think Panzer's situation points out one of the problems that was created after Legion was left behind. Yeah. Stomach. I swear to God. Alright, no portal. Oh, and from the looks of it, the stream health is getting rocky. It's not like plummeting again, but it's not great either. Right, and no portal here. There should be a portal here. Right here. Alright, let's go to Shadow Moon, and then that will be the last one. That will be the last one. Hello, Frasley. Good morning. Wiki wiki. Don't see an issue with unlimited pet slots. What does it matter if someone wants to have 5,000 pets? They're not hurting anyone. I mean, I think how they've programmed it is that they probably have specific slots, right? I think having a limit on it overall, I think is good, because it doesn't let somebody go like, hey, I'm gonna spend the time and I'm gonna get 100,000 pets. Like, what the heck? Like, it's overkill, right? So I think having a limit is fine, but I think the limit that they have now is silly. It's way too low. Way too low. I think they can deal with having people have more than 1,000 pets or 2,000. I don't think that's a big problem. I think if they were to go change stuff, they would need to justify that, and I don't think that they could, considering how things are being done right now, where they want things to take a long time to do. Like, they want you in the game and playing the game and doing this and that. And still no pet off this guy. Come on. Come on, guys. And we're not going to have any luck for anybody in the stream, unfortunately. Not today. There's a unconfirmed one. So there's some people that say that there is one here. It's never been confirmed. Up there. That's why on my add-on is yellow, because it's not a real one. And the last one is here. Well, it's supposed to be there, but it's not there. You're better than this. Yep. I mean, what we could do is jump on another RP realm and make one more swing through and see if we can get somebody a portal mount thingy. I swear to God, that is my stomach. This is my horde realm. RP. Argenton. Okay, let's do Sharon Stone. Don't care. Handy notes. Void Talon. Alright, let's go. Alright, we're going to make one more sweep through on a different realm just to see if we can find anything. Oh, I was going to say I got email, but no, it was my Twilight pet order. Wah wah. Wah wah. I will say I was pretty sure we were going to be able to hit 2,000, but I don't think we're going to now. I mean, we do have a week to go, but I think Carrie is going to be happy that we're not going to hit 2,000 because I don't think she was going to be very happy to have me curse for a minute. I was also like, if we were getting close to the 2,000 mark, I would start writing down the curses that I'd want to say, right? You know, and again, it wouldn't like nothing racist or like stupid bad, you know, like nothing homophobic or racist or religion based or anything like that. All right. Would you want to curse for a minute? I mean, I curse all the time. All the time. Just not when Carrie's around or the kids. So, all right, let's go. We're going to go the opposite route. So, it feels like that was more of a thing for the folks in my guild because they know that during raid every once in a while I'll curse, and then like if we die or something, or if I do something dumb, and every once in a while they can hear her be like, "Hey," and then she gives me a punch. So I tend to not curse. I try not to curse as much because, I mean, listen, I feel like cursing has its use, but if you curse all the time and that's every third word you say, well, you don't sound very smart, right? So whenever Carrie walks away during raid, you just hear a flurry of curses. Yes, and I do that for the guild because, you know, because I can. But sometimes I don't do it very loud, right? I'll be like really quietly. So that, because I know she's upstairs, but she could hear me too if I do it too loud, and then I'm going to get the shots, right? All right, let's see. So the portal's supposed to appear, you should be able to see it 400 yards away. So I'm not sure how populous this realm is. This is the realm that we have our character with riders. Oh, Demidos is up, which is good because I was hoping to come by and take another swipe at this guy, so hopefully we can get the pet. Pet. Yes. All right. Well, we don't need to get that pet anymore. Sweet candy. All right. Well, I'm glad we came out here. All right. Let's add. Yep. Okay. So, hello, Captain Dobie. Thank you, Periton. Hopefully we will be just as lucky and we'll get a Void Talon portal that we can share with someone here. Nope. All right, we're gonna go to Spires.
Frogger2 cheered for 1 bit. Yay.
Thank you. Fantastic. My video immediately froze and now I get another advert. Thanks, Twitch. Well, my stream has been kind of shoddy. honestly. But I'm looking at the stream health. It looks like it's been okay over the last 5 minutes or so. So I think that might be you. But hello, what did I just miss? We got a Void Talon, not Void Talon. I've got Void Talon on my brain. We got the Servant of Demidos pet that I've been trying to get for a bit. On the main realms that I'm usually on, it's never up because those realms are cross realmed, and with tons of realms. So, did it just go down? What? Oh geez, what just happened? Is it because of how I talked? Because it pisses me off too, man. Drives me crazy. It drives me bonkers. I hate it so much. I've got the words in my mouth, but they don't want to go. What are we doing? We're not doing that one. All right, so got this one. So what we're doing right now, breaking news, Theresa May has pulled plans to hold the third vote on her Brexit deal after she failed to get sufficient support. Okay. Well, I thought she, yeah, it got voted down again. Like her exit deal got voted down. And now I heard that there was talk of another referendum style vote. And that one kind of has me a little concerned. Only, I mean, honestly, I don't. I mean, I don't live there, but I don't want to see Britain leave the EU. Maybe there are issues that you guys see that I mean we don't, but there's nothing for me to see to be like, oh my god, oh they should have left years and years and years ago. But it concerns me that they would do another referendum because there was already a referendum done, and I get worried when that kind of stuff happens. I mean, it's not happening here, but when you start saying stuff like, all right, we're going to go to this one where, hey, we did this vote and this is what we're going to do, but we're going to vote on it again. Right? Like, so then you're going to do another vote, and then, well, what's to say that, well, why wasn't the first one like a binding vote, whereas the second one is, right? What if now this one's not a binding vote, and then they go to a third one, right? I personally don't want to see them leave. As much as I've got Scottish roots myself, when they had their referendum to leave Britain, I was like, what are you like, guys? Come on. Okay. Yes, Captain Toby. That's what I'm saying, is that I feel like it's like, you know, like, yeah. It makes me worried for democracy. Sorry. Now isn't it like, I could be wrong here, but wasn't it like the people that were backing Brexit, when they won, they didn't think that they would win, and most of them quit, right? Like, is that true? Like within a month or two, like they were all gone because they were like, well, we don't really have a plan, or something like that. It does bring the whole democratic process under question, and it's slippery slope. Yeah, you vote for a new prime minister and you don't like it, then vote again, right? And I think it's the deal with Trump where I don't think he's necessarily the right person, but he's not the guy in charge of my country. But if he didn't do anything illegal to get in, then you can't really say that he shouldn't be there. You may not like how he carries himself or how he talks, which I personally don't. I think that's my problem. I mean, I've never liked him ever. Like even on TV, I think he's a terrible person. Um, I think he's like a knee jerk kind of like, oh my God, what did we just go through? And now let's vote this guy in. Anyways, but I don't believe that you should be able to kick somebody out just because somebody doesn't like them. I think if they broke the law to get where they were, yeah, gone, right? And with this whole Brexit thing, for them to disregard a a referendum that was supposed to be a legally binding one, it's scary. It's scary. And it doesn't even affect, I mean, it kind of affects us only in that it would affect trade deals and stuff, right? With between us and Britain and the EU, right? So I guess we'd have to have, like, I guess Canada would have to have a separate deal, like a new one with Britain. I don't know. It's like, as much as I don't agree with the outcome of that vote, I think it was the vote, right? What wasn't there some dude Boris something that was like in charge of the whole thing and he left? Like I am not so super familiar with it, so I may not have all the details, but just coming from our side of things, doing another vote is kind of scary. But when you think about it, if that's true, where the people that were in charge of that particular vote, right, and you voted for them and then they all quit, well, does that negate the vote? I I don't know. Right? Like, if so, for instance, like for us, when we vote in a prime minister, we actually don't vote for a person. We vote for the party, right? And I don't know if it's like that in Britain, but we vote for the party, and the leader of that party is appointed as the prime minister. So if the prime minister decides to leave, the party will then appoint somebody else. We do not vote again. Now, if you voted for a party based on this person being in charge, and then within 2 months they left, does that mean that the vote is null and void because the person that you thought you were going to vote for is actually not actually there now, is not in charge? For here, that would not happen. It's, if, like, we have had people leave. Brian Mulroney stepped down in 90. I'm gonna say 90, and they appointed Kim Campbell to be our prime minister, and she is our first female prime minister, and that was back in 90. She's actually been the only one. And then in, I want to say like 99 or so, we had a prime minister. No, I think 2002, because he was in for about 12 years or so. Jean Chrétien, he's getting kind of old. He decided to leave, and they put in man, I can't remember, but he was only prime minister for like 8 months because they knew, well, Jean was not going to run again, so you know what? Might as well let this should be good for the party. Let me back away, put someone else in, and have them build up and win the vote, because the vote was going to come up again in October or something. So that's how we vote for our folks. We do vote for a mayor of our town, but when it comes to prime minister, we don't vote for a person. Boris Johnson, former mayor of London and Conservative MP, stepped down early on after being unhappy about having Theresa May leading the Brexit campaign. I mean, she was initially behind Cameron and the Remain campaign. A lot felt she wasn't the right person for the job, as she wasn't even in favor of it initially. Others followed Boris's lead. So, right, May was on the Remain side, and right, Cameron. I keep thinking Blair, but Blair is like long gone, right? So Cameron came in after Blair, no, and anyways, it doesn't matter. So Cameron was like, yeah, I remember Cameron quitting when the Brexit part won. Any luck? No. That's unfortunate. We've got only one more zone left. So then, because the exit side won, so I guess they appointed, so I guess you do it the same way that we do, where your party appoints the prime minister if the current one leaves and you don't have a new vote, right? So I'm guessing that's how it worked. Because I don't recall there being a vote and Theresa May winning an election, that kind of deal. I could be wrong, though. So, all right, let's see if this bad boy has our toy. That would be great. Nope. All right, one more spot for the Void Talon to hopefully gift it to somebody. Be great. So she got put in, even though she was on the Remain side. Yeah, okay. So I guess the people that were like, well, we want to leave, and then, well, we're not in charge of the process of leaving, so they quit. So now, does that make the exit vote null and void? Right? Man. Dangerous. LB, the Republicans attempted to repeal Obamacare some 70 times. Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, we have, I'm going to use quotes here, free healthcare. We don't, but we do. We pay through it with our taxes, okay? And anything that our taxes doesn't cover, we have to have health plans for. Now, from what I understand, when Medicare or whichever one that he had put through, when that went through, it basically forced everyone to get health insurance, right? And you had to pay for that too. So it wasn't free, right? It wasn't paid with taxes. It's you have to pay for it. So it's a little bit different, and I I think honestly, I think a country should have healthcare for its citizens. I think basic, right? You know, if you're sick, you should be able to go to the doctor without having to worry about getting charged for it. It's if I feel like if you have a healthy uh, population, you have a happy one, and you have one that might actually want to work. And I know that there's some folks that were like, well, if you give them everything, they're not going to want to work. And I think for some people that's true. I think for other people, I don't think that's true at all. So I think overall, as a society, I don't believe that the government should be. Um, I don't believe that they should be in charge of taking care of us, right? Like trying to hold our hand, saying, "Okay, guys, you can't do this and you can't do that." I don't believe that, but I do believe that the government should be responsible for um, making sure its citizens are good, right? Like, do they have jobs? Do they have healthcare? Do they have schooling? Like, we don't have free schooling. Like, well, we do up to end of high school, but that's where taxes go to, right? Um, it I don't know. We vote for the party too. The leader of the largest party is invited by the Queen to form a government and become PM. Okay, for us, it's we the largest party to like the most seats, right? They talk with the governor general, which is a position here that directly reports to the queen. And some people here are like, oh, well, we shouldn't have that. Like, we're paying them to do what? Like, we don't answer to her. Like, yeah, but dude, Britain is our roots, okay? Like that's our roots. I would be sad as I am not a citizen of Britain by any means, right? But I think if we were to sever the tie like completely, and I mean right now it's just a symbol, right? If we were to get rid of that, I would be sad. I would feel like we're getting rid of some of our past. I don't think one position is a big deal in the grand scheme of things. It's not a big deal. I do like saying like that's my queen, right? I find it funny that she is still like she's still on her feet, man. She's going. Like that woman is not gonna die ever. I mean, she's obviously gonna die one day, but I just, like, what are we gonna change all of our coins to get rid of the likeness of the queen? Come on, who can this is part of our past, right? And it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's not like, let's say, okay, so for where we live, we did some really bad things to the natives that lived here before us. So we basically tried to breed these people out, and like, let's say if we had coins or dollar bills that had like a building where it was known to be like this is where they went to go die kind of deal, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, get rid of that crap. That stuff should be gone. But I mean, who cares about the queen? Like, she doesn't have anything to do with us here. but it's such a, I don't know, it's kind of, but then you have to say anti-clockwise it. No, no, I do not. No, I do not. Listen, we may spell things properly as Britain does, and like our American cousins do not. Z, color with a U. That's how it's supposed to be. But I don't know. I'm kind of I'm basically romanticizing the whole idea of it, right? You know, like, oh well, it's kind of right. I like that we have a queen, but I also like that we vote for who the hell we want to vote for. Britain does the same thing. Like they vote for whoever they want to vote for, and then it's just like a formality that the queen says, "Okay, you're in charge." I don't think the queen could go and say, "Hey, democracy's over. I am in charge now. Screw y'all." Although it would be interesting, has the queen I'm sure has not weighed in on the whole Brexit thing. I would be surprised if she weighed in on it, but that would be a good tiebreaker, right? You know? What if you're at this point where it's like, well, do we have another vote? And the queen's like, yes or no. Well, why? Because I'm the queen. I mean, I think there would be riots, but I don't know. So why have that process unless the queen has an option to say no? I think because it's a holdover from how things were, right? I don't think the queen has the option to say no at all. I could totally be wrong, but I don't think she has the option now. I think what could happen is that maybe she could say no. I don't think that this government is good, and I'm not going to give you my assent, right? And then what? The queen doesn't have that much power. They've given up a whole lot of what they were about, right? It's not quite the same anymore. It's just more of a figurehead. I think that they have a little bit more power in Britain than they do like in other Commonwealth places. Yeah, she has no really real political control anymore. It's more tradition, more of a rubber stamp. Yeah, and even if Britain were to be like, let's get rid of the queen, I mean, I'd be sad too, because it's like, you know, I mean, I think you guys probably pay a little bit more money to her, and she, I don't know, than we do. But what does she really have to do and say in your day-to-day affairs and the overall scheme of things? I don't really think she does. It's, you know, just more of a, I mean, if you guys were to get rid of her as a queen, it would be more of a, well, we're getting rid of the royal family overall. Like, oh, well, hello. Okay. I didn't know this was a thing. Her only real power now is to form a government. Okay. And then she can't even dissolve it? Well, that's interesting. Well, that's good to know. I think one of the problems that I have here at home is that my values are liberal in that I don't personally care if what religion you are. I don't care what your sexual preference is. I don't care pretty much about anything that you do unless it's going to hurt somebody else. unless it directly hurts someone. So if your religion was we enjoy killing people, well, then I'm going to have a problem with that, right? Like our book says, we have to kill one person every day. I mean, no, right? So the problem that I usually have is that the liberal governments or groups tend to spend a lot, like spend like crazy. And I don't think that's necessarily the most wise thing to do in the long run. I think while I think, yeah, yes, healthcare should be for everyone, and I think everyone should be able to have like schooling. I don't know necessarily university. I think scholarships are a good go between. I kind of feel like the 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 conservative parties have a better understanding of finances and keeping things in line and in budget. Sometimes they go a little bit too far. Currently, our current conservative government, I voted for them, but they seem to be going more and more right wing, and the liberal side keeps going more and more left wing. And I don't know if that's a side effect of what's happening down south, where the Democrats are far left and the Republicans seem to be far right. Whereas before, in the past, they were closer together, right? I don't know if what we have going on here is from that, but I would really love for to be able to vote for a fiscally responsible liberal party, right? Liberal valued party. I think you need to spend, but man, sometimes they come up with these rules that are a little bit wacky. They had a rule where Democrats are not far left; they're very corporate influenced. Really, for liberal values. I'm talking about like values wise. I've always seen, at least up here, we've always seen Democrats being very liberal, and Republicans very right wing. So I'm definitely gonna keep the royal family camp. Yeah, we pay money as a nation to their estate, but it's a fraction of what we get. Yeah. And from the millions of tourists who come each year, yeah, just to, hey, look, it's a royal family. In the U.S., we have no party that's actually fiscally conservative. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of, Ocasio Cortez is pretty far left, but she's nowhere near a leadership position. Yeah, I don't think far left is the right answer, and I don't think far right is the answer. I feel like what we're gonna have happen is what the hell was I saying? I was saying one of the far left things that we voted a government in to do, what they did, we voted in the NDP in Ontario in the 90s, and the NDP is a liberal government, so it's a left side, and which is not a problem. It's just they screwed our finances over. Like, I remember that, and one of the rules that they came up with, it was really strange, and it was racist. Well, not just racist, but it was specifically aimed at, like, you had to hire one person of one person of every race. You had to hire one person that was disabled too, even if they didn't have the skill set. And I think I mean, I think that by itself was racist. And I mean, if you have like right now, Prime Minister Trudeau has made it a point to say his cabinet is equally men and women. Great. I could care. I personally could care less on your sex. I don't care. If you're smart and you're the right person for that job, do it. But I have a problem with one of the cabinet members left, and there's a big thing about this where some of them left because the prime minister has been doing some not so nice things. One of them left, and it was a girl, and so he appointed another girl, and it's like they made a big thing. Oh well, his cabinet is still gender balanced. I think that's the wrong focus. I think that, yeah, it's a good thing. It's gender balanced, but what if a guy left and they replaced it with a girl? I don't have a problem with that. Like, because if the girl was better than the other people that could have been in that role, great, good, right? And it's like, it's just, yeah, I personally go for merit above all. Yes, they tend to refer to that as positive discrimination rather than racism. Yeah, and I get the deal where they're trying to kind of say that, well, we're giving them a chance, whereas a person of color may not have had the same chance to get the skills that someone else did. And I agree to a point. To a point, but not all the way, I think. And I just, I don't think it should matter what a person's skin color is at all. And I guess as a species, we're not there yet, right? And we're trying to be. And hopefully, like I think the news reports when it's like, oh well, Trudeau has hired a new female and has kept the gender balance in balance. Don't give a crap about the gender balance. Can you please make sure we're getting the right people in the right positions to do the job and govern, right? It drives me crazy. We do have libertarians, which are fiscally conservative, but many view them as crazy, which they don't help themselves by letting nut jobs into their primaries. Yeah, from what I understand, libertarians are really fiscally conservative, but they also believe that there should be minimum government influence, like minimum, right? Like basically, if you want to take an extreme example, you go look at Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec, right? I don't think you should be fiscally conservative. I think you should be fiscally responsible. And I think it's different. Like I think you should pay for what we need to pay for, but also keep in mind that we do have debt to pay down too, that the other parties before us spent trillions. It's just insane. You're basically going to mortgage our future, right? And eventually at some point you're going to have to pay that. Right? Like, how do you not pay that? You just sit there on the debt forever and ever? Really? Is that really how this is going to work? it boggles my mind. Anyways, I hope I haven't offended anyone, because usually political discussions are not great to have, and I try not to have them, honestly, but I mean, I don't feel like my views are particularly crazy. I want a party. I mean, I don't have a party. For the first time, I actually thought, well, do I want to vote for any group? And I don't know. I don't know, because I think I'm beginning to lose faith in voting, right? And I feel like voting. I'm gonna get emotional, even though like I have not personally lost anyone, but we live like the West, okay? Like doesn't matter kind of where you live, but the West, we live in a place where we can vote who we want to vote for, right? We don't have to worry about lining up and potentially being shot, okay? We don't have to worry about voting against the popular guy, Putin, and then get being killed, right? We are, quote, free to vote however we want, and people have fought in wars to keep this way of life. And I personally feel like, for me, if I don't vote, I feel like I would be letting those people down that died, right? Is corporate money as powerful in your elections as it is in ours? I think so. I think, though, that the numbers are not even close to yours. I think yours are about 100 times more higher or more. But you know, they do count. Anyway, so I was, you know, for the first time, because and I don't know if it's I'm losing faith in it, but for the first time I considered, you know, we have an option to basically to mark our ballot to say I vote for no one, and it's different from making your ballot spoiled, right? Those ones will count as spoiled, but they will now start collecting results and stats for I vote for no one, because the people that are being that are up there are not somebody that I would vote for. And that's a good thing that they're actually going to start to record that stuff. I think they started it about 5 years ago or so. And I even then I was like, I would never vote that way. But with how things are here, it's so much of the right versus left. It drives me crazy. Like, yeah, like there's got to be a good in between, right? One of the reasons our Democratic Party is not very liberal is that it seeks money from the same sources as the Republicans. Really? That's like, man, really? Well, no, I mean, corporate intentions are typically neither right nor left, right? I mean, they just want cash, right? And the party in charge is, you know, they just want money to fund their campaigns and other, right? So I don't know if corporate values really weigh in here. I don't really think they would. don't know. Um, I think like I was looking at an American history voting thing, and it was funny seeing as how time had gone on, the parties have become more and more split, and I don't know if that would be solved by a third party, but I think right now I don't think it's ever set up so that there could be a third party. It's very much a us versus them, right? I think for us, we kind of have an us versus them, but we kind of have that third party that kind of gets in there a bit. There's actually a fourth and fifth one, but those are kind of small. They don't really impact things a whole lot until they do, right? I know it's silly for me to say it like that, but they usually don't make an impact until they actually do make an impact, and then everyone's like, oh crap, right? People forget that the whole thing where Hillary was recorded telling Wall Street bankers to ignore what she said publicly, she had their back. Nancy Pelosi is much of the same. I have no idea about that. Honestly, I think people wise, I think she would probably be a better person to have in than Trump was. I think with this new report coming out saying, he had no Russian help as far as they could find. Okay, good. Now that should be done. There should be nothing else from that. And I think that's a good thing. I think that they were going to go after him for like bank fraud or some crap like that. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's not what the report said. I thought see, our media spun the report to say, while the Mueller report said that there was no Russian involvement, it doesn't absolve Trump of something, right? And it's like, well, but if they didn't know, right? It said that they didn't find any conclusive evidence. Yes, they've had 2 years though to look, right? And I personally I thought that they had already acknowledged that there was Russian tampering in some of the online voting machines. It's in some of the voting things. Also, if it said he was innocent, they would have released the report. Yeah, but this report wasn't like a smoking gun, right? Hey, listen, I can't stand the guy. I've hated him from way back, like even before now. All right. I think he's a bad person. I think that I don't know really about her emails and stuff, but I think that Clinton would have been a hell of a lot better than Trump was as far as being someone respectful, I guess. I just like Ross Perot and Ralph Nader are kind of right. Why is unlikely to see a third party again, because they are viewed as just splitting the conservative or liberal vote. Yes, for us, the Liberal Party is the big one, and then there's the NDP, which is a little bit further left, and sometimes they take the votes away from Liberal, and then the PC wins, and so everybody that votes left is like, don't vote for NDP because you're gonna let the PCs win. Or how about you all just kind of come together, I like it actually. So because we have a third party, our political system kind of has it where you can have a minority government in charge. And so what that means is that they can't pass anything that they want. They need to get enough of the other party's votes to vote with them, which usually means that they will pass stuff that helps more people than just one side of things, right? So I actually like it like that. It does mean though that typically those governments fall a little bit faster a than a government with a majority. That's a low bar. A burning pile of feces would be a better leader. I mean, I don't know. I just okay, like I don't want to make this about him, right? Because I just like really I hated him on his TV show, man. So our electoral college allows a minority party to be in charge. Does it? I thought it was like you had to, like, if you had so many points per state, right, which is what that is, and as soon as you get to a certain point, well, you're in charge, right? But I guess if you had a state that went rogue and went third party, right, it would go to, I don't know, right? I just know that, like, when we vote for seats, right? So we don't vote per state. So basically basically Ontario has a certain amount of seats. So I guess that could count as points, but it's not really the same, because if 50 seats here, half of them were voted. Sorry, if 80% of them went to the left and 20% of them went to the right, it's not that the left has more seats so they win that state and they get points. It's not like that at all. It's no, you voted for that seat. The person that you voted for in that seat is part of a certain party, so they are now in charge, right? So we do things a little bit differently, where like for you guys, it's whoever wins the state gets those points, right? Which I think is an interesting way to do it, but I think I personally like the seat wise, because when I vote for someone, I want to make damn well sure that they are the person in charge, or the person that gets in, right? They were actually thinking about doing oh man, we're dancing here. They were thinking about doing mixed, what was it? Mixed member parliament, where when we vote, we would have two votes and not just one vote. So you would vote for the person you want to represent you in your riding, and then you'd also cast a vote for the party that you wanted. And basically then then at the end of the election, you would have, let's say, okay, I think we vote in 340 representatives, or 341 seats across the whole country. So we vote in 341 people, I believe, and with the new way, we'd still vote those 341 in, and they would still have their seat. But what would happen with the party vote is that they would add another 341 seats, and those seats would be divided up by the party. So let's say 60% went left and 60% went liberal, which is red here, and 30% went PC, which is blue, and 10% went orange, which is NDP. those parties would get, so let's say NDP, because that's the easiest one to do. So they would get an extra 34 seats, not counting the ones that they already got because a member of their group won their vote. So they would get an extra bunch of seats. Now, what this was supposed to do is, if the population is more left leaning or more leaning towards a certain party, then it's more likely you're going to get governments run by them, right? Honestly, I think it would give you more minority governments, which again I personally think are good in that I feel like they represent. When bills get passed, they tend to represent more people than when it's just a majority government, and then they can pass anything that they want, right? So Trudeau campaigned 4 years ago on, we are going to have a look at this, and you have spoken, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to really, really have a good look at it, and we're going to change how we vote people in. He was in for 6 months, and he put together a group and to go have a look to see how we can change our voting way to be more representative of what we wanted. And in about 4 months' time, they came back and said, they don't want any change. Baloney. Because liberals, we're not going to get that one. The liberals did have a majority government. So right now they do, right? So that means that they can pass anything that they want without it failing, unless some of the party members go rogue and vote against it. It's very rare. It does happen, but typically it doesn't. If you get told to vote with the party, you have to vote with the party, because if they find out that you didn't, then you're done. Like, you will be kicked out of the party, and then you'll have to run as a independent, and good luck with that. So it wasn't to their advantage to change the voting rules, which is baloney. It shouldn't be up to the person voted in. I think honestly we should have a referendum for it. The Ontario government, which is provincial, had a referendum about 15 years ago on the same thing. Nobody knew about it. Like, there was no information about it at all. Like, nothing. And I guess you could say that, well, because nobody really knew about it, it wasn't really pressing. But I feel like if there was an education campaign to say, hey, we're going to, on this next vote, we are going to vote in whether or not we want to change our voting from first past the post kind of deal, to which is what we do now, to mixed member, which is where you vote for the person and then do a second vote for the party. And it failed because no one's like, yeah, do you want to change your vote? Wait, change to what? Right? There was nothing on that. Nothing. So I just, I don't know. I don't know how me as a person, I can affect that change. And maybe it's that, I'm part of the few, right? Sure. I would love to see the information that says that, though, right? The people that win under the current system have no incentive to change it. Right. In fact, honestly, Trudeau I think the Liberal Party, if they did change it, it would have been good for the people, but it would have been terrible for them because it would have meant that the next election very likely would have meant that they don't get a majority government, and they can't do everything that they want, which is, I mean, it shouldn't be about what the party wants. It should be about what the people want, right? And what's best for us. All right. Well, wow, it is 12:46, so I'm really glad we were able to have a good discussion. I as much as you guys know me, I mean, I am a political person. I'm very much in tune with what happens here in my own place, house, right? You know, so but I try not to talk about it on stream or on Twitter because people lose their minds over anything, man. Like oh, you like Canada Dry. Well, I don't like that can because it's like that green offends me, right? Nice short stream. Yeah, I don't feel tired. Although I am going to go for a nap. Anyways, so yeah, I feel bad that we couldn't find a Void Talon portal for somebody here on the stream. But yeah, I'm not going to be making a point of making political streams. So I just tend not to because, you know, I don't, you know, it can certainly get people fired up because this is our lives, right? Like this is our real lives. So, but I'm glad that we were able to kind of talk, and I hope I didn't really piss off too many people. I will be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And I believe tomorrow I'm also going on the Thundering. I'm going on the Sundering with Seraphis tomorrow night. So that should be good. And we're going to be talking about my Walk to End ALS charity strive. This all came from me updating you on Theresa May. Yeah, it's honestly, well, that's the squirrel in me, right? Like if you plant the seed, man, I'm over there, right? So yeah, I think tomorrow we'll probably end up playing this character. Actually, no, not this character. Probably be playing my Horde character to farm rep. We need that troll. That's the only thing that we have yet to unlock, and we are just close to revered. Hopefully we'll get there soon. But I want to thank you all for sitting here and chatting with me. And, you know, if you agree with me or you don't, you know, thanks for not taking offense and being flip table and leave. I mean, there are people that I do not agree with, like 100%, but, you know, I try to understand that that they are people too, and they have a right to their opinion. I may not agree with it. I might be wrong, right? So, but before we go, I want to say thank you to Zorts for cheering for 100 bits, LB for resubbing for 15 months in a row. Good God, LB, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, man. And LB for following my channel. That's hilarious. And LB for cheering for a bit. Thank you very, very much. People have gotten so politically radicalized because they won't talk to the other. Right. Yeah. And yeah, I 100%. And Twitter is the worst for it. That's why when I leave this computer now, I don't use Twitter on my phone. I don't use Facebook on my phone. I don't use any social stuff on my phone. Discord, it's on my phone, but it's all turned off. Like, I do not use it. When I'm off my computer, I am done because I just, you know, I can only handle so much of the rah, 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 rah all the time, right? All right, so wow, good Lord, 12:50. Okay, I'm gonna go get something to eat and then I'm gonna nap. I will see you all around, and hope you all have a great day. Level safely if you're leveling on a challenge tune, and Be good to your neighbor, even if you don't agree with their opinion. They are still people, unless they're trying to kill you. If they're trying to kill you, I feel like I think you have a right to kick their ass. Okay. Have a good night. We'll do some peace signs, not gang signs. That's bad. Peace is good. Gangs are bad. Although political parties can be seen as large gangs, right? Right? Something to think about. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Peace out.